The twin moons of Aurelian 5 hung low above the crystalline lake, scattering silver light across the floating platforms. It was the kind of evening that made humans pause and breathe deeper. But Rayan Hale, decorated exploration pilot and accidental diplomat, stood there stiffly, hands locked behind his back, wondering if he was about to make the single worst decision of his life. He'd been called for a blind diplomatic dinner with the Draconis Empire, arranged hastily after months of tension. The Draconis were a Titan species, scaled, terrifying, ancient. Not exactly date material. Rayan expected a towering dragon matriarch, wings like thunderclouds, voice shaking continents. Instead, he got a soft thump behind him, and a tiny voice. Excuse me, Mr. Human. Are you Rayan? He turned and froze. Standing at the edge of the platform was a little dragon girl, no taller than his chest. Her scales shimmered like molten emerald, and her horns curled in delicate spirals. She wore a ceremonial sash that dragged behind her, and carried a glowing datapad twice the size of her arms. Her wings fluttered nervously as she bowed too fast and nearly tripped. Mama Dragon is sick, so I came instead, she blurted out, tail curling like a startled cat. I'm, her daughter, Princess Lysera of Clan Vihard, and I will represent our empire on this date. Rayan's mind blanked. He had trained for political negotiations, battlefield evacuation, even wormhole collapse protocols. No one had trained him for a blind date with a baby royal dragon. Lysera, however, seemed determined to be professional. She straightened her sash with both claws, lifted her chin, and began reading from the oversized datapad. I have prepared the standard greetings. Ahem. She cleared her throat dramatically. The Draconis Empire extends peaceful talons toward the human territories. We believe cooperation benefits both, she sneezed. A tiny puff of green sparkles flew out. The datapad slipped, bounced off the platform, and splashed into the glowing lake with a faint plume. Lysera stared at the ripples. Then at him. Then back at the ripples. That was Mama's datapad, she whispered, eyes widening with horror. She said not to drop it. She specifically said not to drop it. Her scales dimmed in panic. Rayan, instinctively compassionate, knelt beside her. Hey, it's okay. We humans drop things all the time. But Mama doesn't. Well, she's much bigger. Lysera sniffed, nodding as if this was an acceptable excuse. To calm her, Rayan offered something simple. Want to just walk around and talk? No formal scripts. No duties? Lysera blinked, surprised. No duties? On a diplomatic date? He shrugged. It's more of a getting dash to dash no dash each dash other thing. Her wings perked up immediately. I can do that. I'm very good at knowing things. She stretched proudly. I'm 10 cycles old? Practically an adult. Rayan nearly choked. Dragon years? Human years? Were they equivalent? Did it matter? She continued excitedly. Mama says I'm smart enough to talk to humans. And I practice my etiquette and everything. She demonstrated by attempting a human-style handshake. She crushed 3 of his knuckles. As they strolled, Lysera's natural curiosity took over. Is it true humans can't breathe fire? Correct. Not even a little? Not even baby fire? Nope, she gasped. That's so sad. Thanks. And your bones? They're not reinforced with tungsten? No, Lysera. They are not. She looked genuinely horrified. How do you survive daily life? Lots of caution. That sounds awful. But her earnest pity made Rayan laugh for the first time in weeks. Eventually, she asked the question that froze him again. Why? Did humans ask for a blind date with Mama? Rayan scratched his neck awkwardly. It wasn't really a date. More like peace talks disguised as dinner. Your people prefer informal negotiations. Our people panic under formal pressure. Someone suggested a cultural date. Lysera processed this slowly. So, her tail curled around her ankle. This wasn't supposed to be romantic. No, and Mama said she had something important to tell the human she met. Rayan frowned. What was it? Lysera hesitated, then whispered, She thinks she found a way for our species to help each other survive extinction. Rayan stopped walking. The sickness? The one weakening your planet's dragon broods? Lysera nodded, scales dimming. Mama says humans have strong immunity, and dragons have strong life force. She thinks together we can cure the dying hatchlings? But she needed a human with courage to hear her out. Rayan felt it hit him a weight, a responsibility far heavier than any war mission. And so she sent you, he said softly. Lysera's voice cracked. I told her I could do it. I told her I was big enough. But I dropped her datapad and forgot the greeting and Lysera. Rayan knelt again, this time gently placing a hand on her shoulder. You're doing fine. Better than fine. You're brave. Her eyes shimmered like liquid glass. No one ever calls me that. They only call me little. Rayan made a decision, one that would shape history. Let's finish what your mother started, he said firmly. Together. Not as a date, but as allies. Lysera's wings lifted, trembling with hope. You mean it? You'll help us? If your mother thinks humans can help, then we'll try. And I'll be your messenger. Your bridge. Lysera beamed. A real, gleaming, proud dragon smile. Then I think this counts as a good date, she said shyly. Rayan laughed, shaking his head. It wasn't a date, remember? Yes, it was, she insisted. Because Mama said a date is when two beings meet, share food, and talk about the future. And we did that. He paused, then sighed. She wasn't wrong. When the Draconis flagship descended to retrieve the princes, the colossal shadow fell over the lake. The landing ramp glowed molten red. The air trembled with the roar of dragon engines. A towering silhouette emerged Queen Vihorak. Recovering but still imposing enough to bench press a mountain, her molten eyes scanned the platform, then narrowed at Rayan. So, she rumbled. This is the human who went on a date with my daughter. Rayan opened his mouth. Lysera cut in immediately. Mama, he's very brave. And he said humans will help us. And he held my shoulder gently and said I was brave too. The queen's eyes softened minutely. Rayan felt his heart slow down enough to not die. Queen Vihorak turned to him. In that case, human Rayan Hale, prepare yourself. For what? He asked, dreading the answer. For the future you just agreed to. Her razor-sharp smile gleamed. This alliance will change both our worlds. Lysera hopped excitedly beside them. And next time Mama comes to the date. Wait, there's a next time? Too late. The queen spread her wings. Lysera grabbed Rayan's sleeve. And the night sky lit up with the roaring promise of an alliance. No. Species had seen before, a human and a little dragon princess changing history, together.